Can you hear? Wow. Can you guys hear me? Can you hear me good? Boy. What kind of professional am I? Not a professional. Does the whole thing. Does the actual explanation. This here to this to that. I think that's gonna be it. I have a cat on my shirt. I need a cat on me. Just kind of waiting for his turn. Okay. Okay, perfect. Come on, come on.
What do you mean by that?
Oh, the soundboard is on? Yes. But I can't hear it. No worries. Come on, man. I'm just going to pull up the news that I wanted to read for today. Usually I forget, but should be fine. And bear with me, it shouldn't be too long. How you guys doing? I mean, there's more news even so. Oh, these are crazy. That's from today, but we already seen that. Okay. Cloud security tool. Everybody's reporting on it 2 days ago. Damn. All right, we got one news. This I'm not super interested, but maybe you guys would be. I'm so sorry. Is it? Okay, and I had one last one. Oh no. You gotta keep believing in my cat, otherwise he's gonna disappear. I believe in you, bro. I believe in you. You're good. You're good. I wanna read on the website here. All right, great. Great. Oh, so these are just the websites. And this is what I had left over from last time. We're going to push them out. We're going to close the group. And let's have a quick look. What do we got? This is interesting. All right, now I can show my screen. Let's do this one here. All right, this is going to be interesting. Oh, all right. I think there's a couple of news we're just gonna go over pretty quickly. All right. Is this a sponsored ad as well? Sponsored post? I'll have a quick look. Oh, come on, guys. Oh shit. Okay, so I've been pushing this idea for a minute now, but I guess people aren't concerned about that. This is applied specifically in the context of no fucking way. Why does it have to disconnect now? Do they use the microwave? I'm supposed to receive the cable tomorrow. So when I'm gonna stream tomorrow night, I should have a network cable connected. Because I can't be subject to these interferences. This so says it's gonna come tomorrow. Hopefully it doesn't cut off too bad. So this is something I was presenting last couple of times, where if you have a model and you ask it a question, if somebody else asks the same question, when you get the same answer, and then you can add your personal context or whatever it's supposed to remember about you. That would tweak a little bit the context, but if you because the goal is to be able to prompt something very simple and get a very complex output from your prompt. So if people just write make me a weather app, and you have multiple people asking it to the same model when they get the same answer, so having I'm pretty sure there's these companies, well, man, I would hope not, but if they've started to integrate these LLM models into password managers, that is very, very bad. Because specifically of that, there's predictability, repetition, and weakness in those passwords. Even a complex, something that would look complex to us would most likely not be so random after all. So this is the point they're making here. In 50 independent runs with Claude Opus 4.6, only 30 unique passwords appeared and one sequence was generated 18 times, yielding a 36% probability. That is absolutely insane. Because if you go, let's see here. Um, no, it's more than hexadecimal. Let's see. Okay, so we have how much? One, two, three, four, five, six. We got 17. Oh my god, I'm so tired. I think I I think I got too hot. I drank too much coffee and I dehydrated myself. Ay ay ay. Well, my point is that there are lots of combinations here for this specifically because you have the whole alphabet, which is 26. You have 10, 36. You have special characters. So depending on how many there are. So let's say you get 50, unless you count uppercase and lowercase as different, then it would be 52, 10, 62, let's say 75. So, okay. And we said how many?
That's my. That's my. That's that's that's
Fuck, I'm gonna lose count for sure.
that's 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 that's
Yeah, so anyway, the whole point is that this string, if you were to just look at it and say it was produced by a generator that has all these different possibilities, it would make a password that is supposed to be safe with all these different uh, probabilities of having, that string. But here at 36%, that is absolutely ridiculous. And so having people falling back to these models for absolutely everything, it's sad. It's just making it worse and worse. Everything's gonna look like shit. I made myself another coffee, but at this point, I'm not sure it's a good idea to drink it. This one was pretty interesting to me. Cybersecurity companies' stock falls sharply as Anthropic releases Claude security tool. I mean, sharply. I'm curious to how sharply, especially considering if it's just something that was released now, and we don't even know if it's any good. Shares of major cybersecurity companies nosedived on Friday after AI startup Anthropic unveiled Cloud Code Security, a new AI-powered tool capable of autonomously scanning codebase for software vulnerabilities and suggesting targeted patches, sparking fears that artificial intelligence could begin displacing traditional enterprise security solutions. Eh. All right, so it would be a stretch to imagine that cybersecurity companies as a whole are tanking just because of specifically for code, for software code, um, vulnerabilities analyzer. Cybersecurity as a whole, it's a big ass spectrum. So software security, uh, I mean, here would be, I don't know. I guess it's just a whole bunch of glazing. Rule based scanning tool. Oh no, hold on. Unlike it leverages the model to reason through the code base the way a human security researcher would. I doubt it. First of all, fuck. All right, let's try. How cloud security work? We don't give a fuck. We got here JFrog, Akamai, Qualys, Okta, Tenable Holding, GitLab, Cloudflare. I mean, well, 5 days because this was published on the 21st. Published the 21st, right? 2 days ago. 2 days ago was also a Saturday, and stock market is closed on Saturday. So probably talking about last week. Hold on. What's it called? Claude Codes. Claude Code Security. Just so you know, Claude is the pronunciation in French. So Claude Code. That's a little weird. Maji? Qu'est-ce que t'as fait? What happened? What did you do, bro? Did you fall? Did you fall? Come here. Come over here. You can stay here. All right, everybody fuck off. Fine. Whatever. Claude Code. Claude Code Security Release. I mean, I don't see the correlation between their announcement and, everything tanking. Here, it was the 20. Ay, ay, ay. Coño. I mean, is it? I don't know. I don't feel. Look, they're all tanking. Does that mean that security shit is hitting? Oh, hold on, Microsoft. Yeah, they all have the same pattern. So Make that what you will. All right, so there's a new scanner to see if you vibe coded your shit poorly. That's great. That's the one I was talking about. The standalone website for Messenger is getting shut down. This is very nasty advertisement. It will no longer be available. So if you want to send and receive messages on the web, you can do so logged into Facebook, but messenger.com is going to go away. That's it. That's the whole news. Ciao. There's a lot of open claw. All right, there's a lot of shit going on. Google suspends OpenClaw users from anti-gravity AI after OAuth token abuse. We've seen the same shit at uh, Claude's and Tropics, and most likely this is going to keep happening because just use their services the way that you presented them. This was a way to get around API billing, from what I understand, because there was in Anthropic there was an unlimited token amount if you were to do it through the web instead of the API, and this is the reason why they were not going the right way about it, and there was a lot of bans, and I guess not quite bans because you're effectively asking paying customers to be removed from your platform because you don't want them to. Bro, why does it keep cutting out? I hope it's just the chat because that shit is making me nervous. So it makes sense that they would not outright ban people because they want them to keep paying. Would you imagine the $200, $250 a month subscription and just being outright banned? They're going to go elsewhere to do that. I don't I don't want to say. Oh yeah, there you go. OpenAI endorses third-party harnesses, widening competitive rifts. That means that because they are losing some momentum or some, I guess momentum is fine. They're losing some energy, and that would probably put them back in front in the race. If you have a whole bunch of people that want to use OpenClaw and those stupid shit, and they all come to the conclusion that the only place to do it is with OpenAI. Everybody's gonna shift back to OpenAI, or you're gonna see movements. But honestly, don't really give a shit. All right, this is interesting. Anthropic Claude under large-scale distillation attacks by Chinese AI labs with 13 million exchanges. I'm sorry. Uh, Anthropic today accused three prominent Chinese artificial intelligence companies, DeepSeek, Moonshot AI, and Minimax, of running coordinated distillation campaigns to steal advanced capabilities from its Claude models. So, this is supposed to be a technique where you you just poke the model, and you keep poking it to get the information that it has, and you use that to build up your own model. It's pretty interesting, ironic, I would say, that all these companies, they complain about being victims of theft when the only reason that they have a model is because they've engaged in the exact same behavior themselves. Holy shit. 24,000 fraudulent accounts generated more than 16 million exchanges. What happened with the 13 million? Companies said the labs used proxy services and networks of fake accounts dubbed Hydra clusters to mask their activity and evade detection. Three campaigns, DeepSeek over 150,000 exchanges, advanced reasoning. The targets were advanced reasoning, rubric based grading to train reward models, and censorship safe alternatives to politically sensitive queries. The tactics, they synchronized traffic across accounts, shared payment methods, and prompts designed to extract step by step chain of thought reasoning. The Moonshot AI Kimi models, they had 3.4 million exchanges. Their targets were agentic reasoning, tool use, coding, data analysis, computer use agents, and computer vision. The tactics, hundreds of fraudulent accounts across multiple access paths. Later phases focused on reconstructing Claude's reasoning traces. And lastly, Minimax, the largest campaign, over 13 million exchanges. The targets agentic coding and tool use orchestration. The tactics, they detected while still active. Okay, so I guess the other two were done. This was still connected. When Anthropic released a new model, Minimax pivoted within 24 hours, redirecting nearly half its traffic to the updated system. Anthropic attributed the campaigns with high confidence using IP correlations, request metadata, infrastructure fingerprints, and corroboration from industry partners. In one case, request metadata directly matched public profiles of senior researchers at the. It's like, right, as if you were badging, with your information. That's that's pretty silly. So how were they able to bypass restriction? Anthropic does not offer commercial access to Claude in China. The labs circumvented this by purchasing access through third party commercial proxy services that resell API calls at scale. These services operate sprawling networks of fraudulent accounts that mix distillation traffic with legitimate customer requests, making detection significantly harder. That's pretty interesting. So they're going to invest more money into not having this happen if they can avoid it. Let's stay on the topic of these models and OpenClaw specifically. Because as you guys know, if you've seen any of the videos or watched the stream, everything, everything is a risk. It doesn't matter where you are at in the process, from the tip of your finger to the electrical current that runs through the motherboard, all of it is all exploitable. Here specifically, you have um, early adopters that jump onto the bandwagon with everybody. So everybody's trying OpenClaw. Everybody wants to be, the first ones to try. You have non-technical people that have made a whole bunch of mistakes on their own, which is, you know, it's already bad. But you also have bad actors that provide quote unquote skills on ClawHub, which is the repository where people can, just upload their own skills. For instance, you can have OpenClaw do specific things, right? Like read emails or whatever the fuck. And in the skills, you have exploit, you have, bad intentions, bad actions programmed. We saw news, now it's going to be a couple of weeks ago, or I don't remember. As soon as this shit came out, I think in January, January 24th, it was full of issues as soon as it came out. And every single week we keep seeing more stuff. But one of the news that we saw was about 1/3 of all the skills in OpenClaw were malware. Here we have multiple hacking groups that exploit OpenClaw instances to steal API keys and deploy malware. What are we talking about? Its architecture grants significant system privileges. You mean the exact same privileges that a person would have interacting with the computer. So if you are administrator of the computer and you set up your OpenClaw that way, it's going to have administrator rights. Persistent memory access and integration with sensitive services make it making it a prime candidate for credential theft and data exfiltration. Within 72 hours of broad deployment, threat actors began exploiting several serious vulnerabilities, including the high risk remote code execution flaw. This is always the worst, the absolute worst. Supply chain poisoning and credential harvesting through exposed administrative interfaces. These non technical people jumping on the bandwagon, not knowing what the fuck they do, and just following tutorials on YouTube, guides, whatever the fuck. Just take a second. Would you trust yourself to, I don't know, do open heart surgery because you saw a video on YouTube and you're pretty sure you know how to do it? I mean, I wouldn't. I wouldn't trust myself. I don't trust myself, to. I don't have any jokes here. That one's on me. Sorry. I'm sorry about that. Doesn't matter. So, yeah, stupid people doing stupid stuff. They have observed over 30,000 compromised OpenClaw instances used to steal API keys, intercept messages, and distribute info stealing malware via Telegram and other malicious communication channels. Hmm. Claw Ava campaign, supply chain mass deployment. No, that's interesting. One of the earliest and most damaging campaigns, dubbed Claw Havoc, was detected January 29, 2026. This is 5 days after it was released. The supply chain attack disguised malicious payloads like Atomic Stealer for macOS and Keyloggers for Windows as legitimate crypto tools. Users installing from supposed setup scripts unknowingly downloaded Stealer malware capable of full service compromise, enabling attackers to extract persistent memory data and conduct lateral movement across enterprise systems. So, lateral movement, it means if you were in one computer and you were able to gain credentials for a user in an enterprise environment, you can move from this computer to this computer with the same information, and then you can try to uh, raise the privileges of the account through different methods. Then by early February, there was a second campaign. Oh yeah, there you go. Automated skill poisoning through ClawHub. So this is where about a third of the skills were all infected. Due to the platform's open publishing model and lack of code review, attackers uploaded backdoored skills from seemingly trustworthy GitHub accounts such as a Hightower 6 EU. Is that the name of an account? Who gives a fuck? These malicious updates executed remote shell commands allowing attackers to exfiltrate OAuth tokens, password, and API keys in real time. A short-end scan on February 18 found 312,000 OpenCloud instances running on default port 18789, many with no authentication and open to the internet. Yeah, there was a situation with the misconfiguration where all the traffic from the internet was considered as safe traffic. That was very, very odd to me. Exposed administrative interfaces are worsening the crisis. There was a honeypot deployment that recorded exploitation attempts within minutes of exposure. Well, this here it ties in a little bit with the alternative Chinese database of vulnerabilities. Is it because the information was made public and it started being exploited then? Or what I think is most likely is that this was a known exploit and was already exploited. And when you started looking for it, is when you started hearing it being exploited. So, but I guess you do have both as well. So it underscores a critical turning point in the security of autonomous AI agents. This is a fantasy. This is a whole bunch of shit. It is impossible to have security with autonomous AI agents. First of all, autonomous AI agents is a misnomer. These are not autonomous and they are not AI. So you have organized threat groups that have adapted rapidly, weaponizing an ecosystem that prioritizes capability over cybersecurity. This is nothing new. This is the reason why everything is full of holes. Everything is a security risk because there are very little there's a very little amount of things where cybersecurity is an actual number one concern before producing something. And even then, when it is a concern, where people actually put efforts into it not being an issue, it is. People still find exploits. There's this is gonna happen no matter what, forever, because people do things, people makes mistakes. and other people exploit those mistakes. That's it. It forever. It has been like that. It is like that. It will be like that. This is never gonna change. This is never gonna change. All right, I guess it was just a little recap on open clause issues up to now and people putting the efforts to, exploit those shit. It used to be that there were no, quote unquote, there were no uh, viruses or malware for Mac computers for the longest time, and people used to say it was secure. You didn't have to worry about that. You know why? Because there was so little adoption. It was not worth it for bad actors to produce something uh, to try to infect those computers. But now there's enough that it's worth it. Everything is worth it now. It is going to happen. This is so weird to me. SuperClaw, open source framework to red team AI agents for security testing. This is a whole bunch of mumbo jumbo. Also, anything related to AI, quote unquote, when you see it's a framework, it's a whole bunch of shit. It is. Super agentic AI. What the fuck? That's a that's a real website. That's a that's a real website. Would anybody actually this you guys can't see it, huh? What do I do? All right. I think I should do another one just Chrome, but whatever. And let me move my you guys see whatever the fuck. You see those lines? They seem to be converging right to the center spot here. So right, you would have optimize in the center, and you would have all those things around. You have a proper line that goes to code. You have uh, the lines centered with the center of the icons. So this here, no person has done this. Okay, there is zero chances that somebody did this. Okay, let's go back to read and let's see. Let's go for a who is and check when this domain was either registered or bought. April 2025. Well, I was hoping for it to be more recent, even more recent, but no, I don't know. This doesn't look like anything worth anybody's time, but let's have a quick look what they've done. Released SuperClaw, an open source pre-deployment security testing framework built specifically for autonomous AI coding agents. Announced in late 2025, SuperClaw addresses a growing blind spot in enterprise AI adoption. What do you mean? SuperClaw? Isn't it weird that they're all aiming for claws and shit? Is there some sort of esoteric esoteric definition of clause. Representing primal power, deep seated fear, and the ability to interact with the unseen world. So weird. It's a little weird. It is a little weird. For autonomous AI coding agents, right? So it shouldn't have any relations to OpenClaw, right? Most organizations skip structured security validation entirely before going live. Fuck, man. Somebody should have told them that Anthropic was gonna shit out the same thing. Security behaviors under evaluation span critical risks like prompt injection, chucha madre, like prompt injection resistance and sandbox isolation, high severity concerns such as tool policy enforcement and cross session. Man, it's a whole bunch of shit, and it most likely wouldn't be able to properly do that either. So, well, nothing. Okay, well, this is the same principle as the skills issue with the OpenClaw. The unfortunate part here is that uh, this is a library, so okay, so yeah, it's used by millions of web developers. Okay, so using this library on a website then opens the website up to PDF object injection attacks, allowing remote attackers to embed arbitrary objects and actions into generated PDF documents. So most likely this could run something, I'm sorry, on the remote computer. So this is it, right? You use something that it's not yours. You're not the one who's built it. Well, in fact, there's absolutely nothing you can do regarding this issue, in my opinion. You can have your best practices. You can try to be a secure person, right? Have a good security posture, good habits and behaviors, right? But we've seen legitimate software and legitimate delivery methods being compromised, and everything is compromised, everything is a risk. You just have to assume that. So when there's something new like this that's announced, you try to patch it as quickly as possible, because otherwise, if it was not known, it is known, it's going to be used. Also, uh, people don't all disclose security vulnerabilities if they want to keep using them. Really depends, but yeah, that's a nasty one. All right. Oh, yeah, I really wanted to respect the source from where I saw it, but I think this is gonna be a better. Ah, you motherfucker. I mean, I don't especially care where I read it from. You know what? Let's not even read it. Fuck this. I'm not paying for that shit. It is their AI agent. It took action that it shouldn't have. This is not surprising. This is gonna keep happening. That's it. This is a little weird. Hegseth to meet Entropic CEO as Pentagon threatens banishment. I saw news about Entropic. I heard the news today, I want to say. I don't remember. Oh man, you guys are going to see how much of a lazy ass I am. Well, I need to, okay? I need to. There are good explanations. There are good explanations. Let's see. Defense Secretary has summoned Entropic CEO to the Pentagon tomorrow morning for what sources say is likely to be a tense meeting over terms for military uses of Entropic's Claude. Hmm. This is not a friendly meeting. This is a shit or get off the pot meeting. Claude is the only AI model available in the military's classified systems. Huh. And the most capable model for sensitive defense and intelligence work. The Pentagon doesn't want to lose access to Claude, but is furious with Entropic for refusing to lift its safeguards entirely. I mean, uh, two sides are heading into the meeting on two. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm gonna be better. Come in. Come over here, Charlie. Charlie. Oh, Maji, you wanna be here? What? I'm reading the news, bro. We're gonna chill after, okay? Yeah. Come on, guys. Do you wanna be on cam? Wanna be famous? All right. I'm sorry. So, all right, they're having conversations, but refusing to lift its safeguards entirely because it most likely will produce weird stuff, right? More than just loosen restrictions. Anthropic is willing to loosen its usage restrictions, but wants to wall off two areas: the mass surveillance of Americans and the development of weapons that fire without human involvement. The company is committed to using frontier AI in support of US national security. Oh my god. Fuck man, I can't wait to get the cable. I'm sorry. I really hope the stream is not cutting out too much. This is insane. I've never seen that. I've never seen that, guys. I swear. I swear. Company is committed to using frontier blah 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 friction point. Pentagon has threatened to declare Anthropic. Okay, that's the news I saw. Okay. The Pentagon has threatened to declare Anthropic a supply chain risk, not only voiding its contract, but forcing other companies that work with the Pentagon to certify they aren't using Claude in those workflows, effectively blackballing Anthropic. That's interesting. Pentagon is discussing other potential tools to force Anthropic's hand. A defense official said Hegseth would effectively be presenting um, ay, joder puta, with an ultimatum. It would be a massive task to offboard Entropic, which is deeply entrenched, and replace it with another AI lab that currently has inferior capabilities. Huh. Huh. Is that weird? That feels a little weird. Why is the military grading, you know, AI models? Does that mean that using other models are, they would be inferior to Anthropics? So apparently, there's a culture clash between the brash Pentagon and the Silicon Valley firm. Well, honestly, this is not that big a news for today. Tomorrow, we're going to be more in the loop. All right, these are some, from last time. Let's have a quick look at the bleeping computer. Shortly, what? All right, this is pretty interesting. Oh my god. Mm, yeah, no. Oh wow. So there were alerts, right? CISA was alerting everybody to update Beyond Trust because of the vulnerability that was disclosed, and now it's being exploited in ransomware attacks. So there's evolution, right? There's some progress right there. Right, fuck this. So we're almost done. InfoStealer malware found stealing OpenClaw secrets for first time. February 16. This is an old one. I didn't have the time to read, I guess. But okay. So specifically OpenClaw files because InfoStealer, that's not the first time, right? Even specifically with OpenClaw, stealing files associated with OpenClaw to extract secrets stored within them. What kind of secrets? So they're extracting the configuration environment. So most likely there's three files. There's the sol file, memory, task. I don't know. Ay, coño. All right, so transition. Why is this a milestone? Because it marks the transition from stealing browser credentials to harvesting the souls and identities of personal AI agents. I mean, this has to be for a different purpose, right? Credentials are, you know, very valuable, even more so than whatever the soul of your open claw agent is. That doesn't really make sense to me. But we have seen Chrome extensions specifically uh, getting into the your prompts with your interactions with your models. So I mean, this could be used to sell to advertisers. I want to say that there is value for some people, some specific people. Uh, it has to be for different purposes, right? So the files stolen, the OpenCloud JSON, which exposed the victim's redacted email, workspace path, and a high entropy gateway authentication token, which could enable remote connection to the local instance. If it is exposed through the internet, or client impersonation in authenticated requests. There's also the device JSON, which has the public key PEM. Fuck is that? And private key PEM, which used together do the pairing and signing. Uh, yeah, he's just explaining. And then we got the sol.md and memory files, which are agents.md and memory.md. These define the agent's behavior and store persistent contextual data, including daily activity logs, private messages, and calendar events. All right. So here you also have contextual data, including daily activity logs, private messages, and calendar events. I mean, it is different. It serves a different purpose. I think people are still going to steal browser credentials. This here I want to talk about because it's unfortunate, but this is how life is. If you are in a vulnerable position, people are going to try to take advantage. Okay. Here specifically, and you see this is on both sides of the spectrum. Okay. You got for people applying for jobs, and you have, listings of enterprises. So you have a bad actor that could send to a company infected malware, infected files. Most likely there wouldn't be as tight of security specifically for a resume, right? We wouldn't expect somebody to start an attack chain on you through a submission of their resume. You also have on the other side where bad actors, they pass themselves as if they were enterprises, and they have you send information. It could be confidential information. So it's it's bad. It's bad because I mean they will not care about you. Obviously, they're trying to make money out of it, and you gotta be so careful. So this one specifically, I guess it's a software. Yeah, malware hid behind deceptive advertisements for fake AI video generation platforms on social media, tricking users into downloading malicious zip files. I mean, if you're trying to cheat in a video game, if you're trying to have access to a paying software, if you try to do things that you are not supposed to, there's a high probability that this is going to be used as a vector to infect you. So these early campaigns, they focused on harvesting credentials and cryptocurrency wallets, and they were then exfiltrated via Telegram bots to the attackers. But now they've shifted their focus to exploit the global demand for remote work. Holy shit. Ay, ay, ay. Okay, so that means there's just no limit. You can just put an ad and you say that you're looking for international people and just create a botnet right there. Operators linked to the Vietnamese group are now utilizing fake job posting to target job seekers, students, and digital marketeers. This attack employs sophisticated phishing lures disguised as employment application forms or skill assessment tests to deliver multi-stage stealers and remote access trojans via DLL sideloading tactics. It is insidious. It is so insidious. So now the malware in I can say that the malware in itself also has evasion techniques. Hold on a second. I gotta hold on. Sorry about that.
What do you mean by that?
I'm so sorry. Why is it so low? Is there background noise too? I guess there was. Come on, don't drop, bro. I guess now it's back to normal. Fuck, what happened last time? Anyways, I'm gonna have the cable tomorrow. It's all gonna be fixed. This is the last time this is happening. This is the last time. All right, so the malware also has a new evasion technique to not be detected. Doesn't really matter. This is a little fucked up. Predator spyware. I'm so sorry, guys. Predator. Hijo de puta. Predator spyware hooks iOS Springboard to hide mic camera activity. Intellect says Predator spyware can hide iOS recording indicators while secretly streaming camera and microphone feeds to its operators. The malware does not exploit any iOS vulnerability, but leverages previously obtained kernel level access to hijack system indicators that would otherwise expose its surveillance operation. Apple introduced the recording indicators in the status bar in iOS 14 to alert users when the camera or microphone is in use, displaying a green or orange dot respectively. The US sanctioned surveillance firm Intellexa developed the Predator commercial spyware. So that means this is sold to, I want to say, agencies or organizations. That's pretty disgusting. Delivered it in attacks that exploited Apple and Chrome zero-day flaws and through zero-click infection mechanism. While its ability to suppress camera and microphone activity indicators is well known, it was unclear how the mechanism worked. Also, if you want to be the least susceptible to these things, you should update your phone as often as possible, and you should restart it as well as often as possible. So, some researchers analyzed predator samples and documented the process of hiding the privacy related indicators. Also, just real quick, let's have a quick look at the company. Oh shit, surprise, surprise. I don't want to say it, but that's gross, guys. Can you guys see? It doesn't matter. I'm not gonna say it, but fuck. It's always like that, right? Oh my god. So they documented the way that it all happens. There's a hook function inside of Springboard, and invoking the method whenever sensor activity changes. By intercepting it, Predator prevents sensor activity updates from ever reaching the UI layer. so the green or red dot never lights up. The target method handle new domain data is called by iOS whenever sensor activity changes. Camera turns on. Markers. Why you always gotta do that, man? You fucking make me. Pisses me off. I'm sorry. So, all right. They found a trick to hide it. So, just so you know, now this is true for everything, right? If it has a camera, it's most likely going to be exploited. If it has an indicator, it is most likely not most likely. It 100% there is a method to avoid it. I don't know if you guys have seen this. Fuck, I'm so sorry. I have such a shit setup. Doesn't matter. Meta. So there are people removing the LED indicator onto the Meta glasses. So people are, oh fuck, did I forget? Put a timer for 55 minutes. Yeah, so people are going to do that no matter what. I think we have time to watch a YouTube video. That's my crazy butt right there. I'll change it up too. I have some leftovers. It's good. I want to see. Okay, let's watch. Let's watch Wall Street Millennial. Come on, man. Is it low battery? Fuck. All right, guys, give me a second.